Arrgh. That's what I be saying about the car today. Well, I've tacked this piece of steel in here. It's actually not the final product, so don't worry. I know I haven't cleaned inside yet. I'm going to grind off this piece of metal, and I'm going to use that for a template on a thicker piece of metal. It's much easier to create a template out of a thin piece of metal. Hindsight, I should have used a piece of cardboard. I actually just thought of that while I was talking. I should have used a piece of cardboard. Oh well, lessons learned. So apparently that little section that went through on the other side, that's by the floorboard. I found that out the hard way when I went to try to weld that shut and found the carpet smoking. So I hope you can learn from my mistake. The other side of this hole is the carpet. Well, that sure was fun. So I think we've learned our lesson a little bit here. When you're welding, make sure the other side of the metal does not have anything that could catch fire. Like, oh, I don't know, wiring, insulation, anything like that. But I'm grateful that I had my fire extinguisher. Let's be grateful we had a fire extinguisher. And let's be grateful that it wasn't worse than it was. You know, fires can spread so quickly, which is why if you're working with anything hot, it's so important to carry a fire extinguisher with you and have it nearby. If I would have had to go back to the house to get the fire extinguisher, by the time I were to come to the bug, I'm quite sure the fire would have been much, much bigger. So always have safety measures in place. When you're working with something hot, bring your fire extinguisher and have it ready to go. Also, be sure you know how to use your fire extinguisher. Be trained with it. This is so cool. Actually repairing a rust spot with metal. And I would say this is really close to repairing it correctly. Some may argue that I should have used solder in those holes. And to be honest, that's probably the right way to do it. I'm sure you're probably tired of watching me struggle and grind and weld and burn myself and catch my bug on fire on one area of the bug. There's so many more adventures on all of the other rust holes. So you tell me, should I keep this Bondo, sand it down and be done with it, or should I sand it off, heat it up with a torch, put some solder in there, and then put filler over it? You tell me, what should I do? What do you want to see more? Okay, so yeah, that bug may only weigh 1,700 pounds, but dang, it's heavy when there's a stuck brake. Yeah!